Hello everybody, this is TV1. I'm back again with another video, and this time I'm doing my WWE Network reaction video, commentary sort of video. Yesterday, as you may notice, if you went into my channel, you'd see that I did a video called WWE Network First Reaction. This is probably going to be my review, and then that was my reaction. I just showed you like a video with a camera I used, and I just showed you the network really. The story is I got it yesterday, and my brother ended up getting it for me on his credit card, and it was free in February, so I thought it was a good idea to go and get it, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. I still think it was a great idea. Anyway, we have the network anyway, and I said I was going to do stuff, so I'm obviously going to do my weekly NXT reviews, except I'll probably be watching them on the network, and then I'll get them up pretty quickly because it'll be easy to get them. My exams are finishing up next week, so I think we can get back to a little more regular schedule. The week after, next week, it will be a bit more relaxed. A few bits, obviously I have to study for 2 exams, but I'll be more relaxed, of course, because the fact that I'll have time off normal school. But the regular schedule will be implemented next week. Well, not next week, sorry, because of course there's a week off, midterm, so the week after that we'll be back to school and back into the normal routine. So of course I'm going to do a nice network review right now. This is, keep in note, this is the UK Ireland edition, not the American one. I don't know if there's any really differences, there probably isn't. But I'm just going to talk about it and tell you about the different consoles and the computer, of course. The Xbox 360 and the PS4. Let's go in and talk about the network. Okay, so the network, I got this network, and if you watch my other video, I know it's pretty easy to navigate. I find it very handy to have the headings at the top and the subheadings. And the WWE, as the anticipated, they were very organized with all the archives. I noticed that the archives were in their own unique section, and there was a lot of old content, and I think that is good, but they obviously need to keep coming up with new content. All SmackDown tapings, a lot of old Raws, but I noticed that they still have a lot to add, so that's one area they can improve, and they know they can do that. They can add content. That's a very obvious perk they can add, and it will keep people coming to the network. I think that's a good idea not to all release at once. Let's talk about the original content. The original content was probably one of the best things that the network has to offer. I mean, as all shows goes, I think this is what makes the network really special, come out, and worthwhile getting it, because the original content it's like what Netflix would do with their original shows, just very high quality, a lot of advertising for these type of things, and I think they've did a great job with marketing, and I found out about a load of these shows before I even got the network. YouTube is a place where they try to link you up with the network, and it definitely feels like a very interconnected world, and of course all the original content is up to quality. I've seen one of the Monday Night War episodes. I still haven't seen any of the WrestleMania, but they look pretty high quality as well. A lot of interviews done, and new ones, which is quite impressive, and all of the archive footage is high quality, high standard, and it's all used in different documentaries as well. I noticed there were a load of documentaries and TV style documentaries, which are like episodes, and they all possessed great quality new interviews. This is a project that the WWE have been wanting to do for the past 5 years, the network, and it's only really gotten around to in the last 1.5 years. Obviously, very impressed with that. As well as that, the original content was very unique, because they've added loads of shows. They've got Tough Enough, which is the one I like to watch, very high quality, high standard. On the computer it doesn't seem to work as well for me. I go onto a video and it just doesn't do it for me, but the PS4 is probably the way to go in terms of the layout. It's actually very good, of course, and it just works best on the PS4. Xbox works alright, but again, the WWE Network have really been focusing on next gen consoles and the computer, of course. So there's no problem with the layout, of course. I think it's high quality. The original content, I want to talk about that for a second. So it can be found by going into shows, and originals. In ring is obviously another section which is focused on the current stuff they have. The pay-per-views is a very good library. We have just loads of stuff, and I find it really interesting. They have WCW, ECW, and WWE. There's another area where they can keep adding stuff in. Of course, I was watching a few things on the originals, and I can tell you that it's a very high quality standard TV productions, stuff that the WWE would have, it's like watching TV or whatever, but it gives it here, and it's great to have. I think I'm very gratified to be able to have that sort of thing, and it definitely works to WWE's advantage, because if people are looking at the WWE network, they're going to go, oh well, there is original content and a lot of TV shows that can be added to, instead of just having an archive where it's can't really be added to. I mean, they're doing this with WWE, so it's going to be sort of like a regularly done thing. Obviously there's a live show thing, which is basically making it sort of mimicking TV, really. It's on the schedule, and it shows all stuff from that week, like best of weeks, just stuff that's already sort of just been added, but again, you get to see it again. The pay-per-views, the way it's presented is everything's sort of broken down. So you go into a category, and it just says all underneath it. There's a year function. So if I go into pay-per-views in 1985, there'll be 2. If I went to 1986, there would be a few more. And I think all of the WrestleManias are added, up to 30, which is very impressive. And I was kind of like, yeah, that was a good idea, because you're attracting people, you're going to see the old history of the show. But if you missed WrestleMania 30 last year, or whatever, if you want to revisit every single pay-per-view, I've seen people do this, but you can go back and you watch all the pay-per-views and just relive the whole era through that sense. Obviously there's been other shows added, like Monday Night Raw, Monday Nitro. You can watch those and then relive the Monday Night War. There's also original content for that as well, so they've covered you a lot and given you a whole history of the product, and there's really nothing missing. I mean, you've seen every sort of aspect, the documentaries behind the scenes, all just like entertainment, like reality shows, pay-per-views, normal shows, catching up on the week behind, and a lot of, I was noticed there's a lot behind the scenes stuff that they've added just for the network people. So you get all this live stuff, you get network exclusive, which means like interviews and stuff like that. There is so much pre-shows, kickoffs. I mean, you wouldn't really be too interested in these type of things. They sort of just come on after Raw. If you saw it, you might have think, oh, they're just talking about it. It's sort of what a YouTuber would do, or something like me, you know, just review what's happening in the WWE, and it's just a very more professional way that it's been done before, really, for the WWE, and it's actually quite impressive to see the extent that they've gone to ensure that you're entertained and that you know what's going on in the WWE, and very interconnected with the media world and all aspects of the internet. So there's really no problem with the content at all. It definitely seems that they've got a lot of it and a lot of history made into it all, and just a whole archive and collection. The only problem that I have with that is not really completely the most useful way to have it organised or anything like that. It just seems that the whole filter thing, and you can basically just go into different sections, it doesn't really allow for easy viewing of the search thing. I mean, it doesn't really work almost the best of thing. It doesn't work as well as you'd hope it would, and of course when you go onto the layout, there is an issue with sometimes finding stuff easily, and a lot of the filter isn't really any way to navigate that well with the year function, and the other ways of doing it, it's just not as easy to do, I find, and yeah, sometimes it can be slightly difficult, but apart from that, you go into the video, you press play, and if it works, it works. And I know the computer doesn't work, but really on the PS4 and Xbox I find it works pretty well. Some loading problems I have found, and they have been really just the fact that I don't know, it just seems a bit slow to me, really. There's obviously a skip forward function and skip back, that works alright, but there is going to be a slight problem with it just stopping midway through a video trying to load, and that could just really mess up you're viewing. You could halfway through, nearly. I was watching an episode of Monday Night Wars, and what happened was it was just nearly finishing, and then it froze, and I just had to go off it because, anyway. But yeah, so stuff like that, it's prone to happening, and I think it could be to do with my internet. But really, it just seems a bit unprofessional that this happens, and the fact that the Netflix is all fine, but this isn't. It is an issue, just sort of secluded to the network. The Vault is a lot of stuff. I haven't really checked that out. It seems to be more hardcore fans who want to check this stuff out. I mean, the Monday Nitro is very interesting. But a lot of this stuff, like, you don't really hear about it. It's just this sort of 70s, 80s wrestling, and maybe just even stuff that it doesn't appeal to you. It's not really the reason I got the network, and not the reason a lot of other people got the network, but it is accessible, and it's nice to know that it's there. If you ever needed to check it out or something like that, then you could, because that's something you can check out, and you know, it's very cool, and then that's cool to see. So yeah, the Vault, I give it. I think it's good. I think there's still a lot of other stuff they could have added, but again, if you want to find out the history of these wrestlers, you go back and here, and it's more of an independent sort of scene. ECW is definitely a lot present here. It's a very different type of wrestling, so it wouldn't appeal to everyone. It's more hardcore fans, as I said, but the originals would definitely be more easy to watch and appeal to everyone. In-ring is sort of essential to keep up with the WWE. The pay-per-views, yeah, got time on your hands, there's a lot of them to watch, so definitely the pay-per-views is one of the main perks of this whole thing. Every type of pay-per-view, I was wondering here, listening sections, and there's King of the Rings for most years, back to 1993, which just shows the depth of this. I think all of the money banks are present as well. As another feature here, which is oldest to newest and most recent. And one other handy thing is going onto shows. You can click most popular, and it will give you a look at very sort of up-to-date stuff. And so yeah, it does give you a nice little news feed as well. There's lots of new stuff still being added, I'm happy to say. For now, I think it works alright. Not as well as Netflix would be. But WWE, you gotta give them credit for where credit is due, for how they've marketed it and how they've gotten people interested with this free month. I thank them for the free month, really, and say that it works quite well. Most experience, I'm not blown away with the whole experience. I think that the content is sort of what I expected, nothing more, nothing less. I think that it still doesn't live up to the whole every single thing that WWE owns. Of course, it doesn't. It still needs a lot to add. And really, what you're interested in is the originals and the in-ring, which I think just gives it a reason enough to buy, because the only other way of doing it is really illegal, or paying €20 for whatever pay-per-view, and you just don't want to do pay-per-views, or you don't, if you're not from Ireland, UK, if you're from Ireland or UK, not from America, you really want to keep up with content. You're not going to get it any other way than really just this way, because it's just not on TV here. So this is just the way to do it, and I think this is the future really the WWE are going hands down. This is how all content could be in the future. So you gotta really prepare for it, guys. Yeah, I've enough ranting really. I think that's all I need to cover on this whole thing. Yeah, it just, some devices doesn't work as well as others. But of course, it when it works well, and the quality is amazing. Videos, my main problem is though the video. That it can be a really, really poor, can be poor, of course. The fact that like you're watching a video and it just stops, and then it's just really hard to undo that. But I'm serious, it does give you an all-around look at everything in the WWE, and there's nothing really more to say than that. Else, maybe if I do want to do another video in the future, I can talk about it, like my updated view, if my views have changed, or review at the end of my time with this network. I don't know how long I'll have it for, but I'll tell you. And I keep watching content and enjoying it, because it is amazing. Thank you guys for watching. This has been TV1. Make sure to like, comment, share, favourite this video, and do everything you can below and in my channel. discuss with me what you think of this video, what the network, of course, content that's being released. Do you think it's good? Think it's bad? Share the discussion. Go to my channel if you want to give me a personal question or anything like that. That's fine with me, because I will answer every single question and probably subscribe to all of you. Yes, I probably will. And make sure to subscribe, of course, back to me. Thank you all for watching. This has been me, TV1, and see you all next time.